Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, consulting the cards and matters of the heart. And it is time for this week's Oracle reveal. So, yesterday on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals and asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the dragon, the octopus, and the penguin. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you because that animal has your message. And for those of you who picked the dragon spirit, dragon is known for its wisdom and its power. And also in Eastern cultures, it's known for its luck, its ability to bring luck or change luck. And so if you're attracted to dragon this time, or at this time, you should really think about, are you embodying your power right now? Are you really stepping into your authority? Are you feeling strong? Are you feeling that you're asserting yourself in the world and that you're accomplishing what you want? Also, the dragon can indicate that it's time for you to get back in touch with your own wisdom. First card for Dragon is, where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we have the Nine of Wands, which is traditionally a card that says that you've kind of been through the ringer. You've gone through the trials by fire and you've come out the other side. The Nine of Wands can indicate that life has tested you up until now. And yet, this is a card of resiliency. It's a card of standing up to the challenge at hand and finding your way beyond it. So I'm feeling for you with this dragon card. It's just basically saying that you're a survivor and that what you're really needing to align with within yourself is that power that resides within you of being the survivor, of being the one who survives the trials by fire. You got to think back at all those times where life really tested you and know that you've come through this and that you've come out on the other side. The advice from your inner wisdom this next week, if you pick the dragon, is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is a card of creativity. But also for me, the Page of Cups is one of the most sensitive cards in the tarot. Let me get rid of that reflection. There we go. The Page of Cups can often be someone who is calling you toward your own intuition, your own feelings. You might need to listen to those instincts a little bit more right now. But also, Page of Cups can indicate that you are very sensitive to your environment. And just like all the pages in the tarot, pages are the children of the tarot. They can represent what's vulnerable within us. And just like you wouldn't allow your child or a child around any sort of environment, you would be really protective of that child. So too, you need to be protective of your own inner child at this time. And yet, the child within has great wisdom. And maybe what the dragon is saying is that there's power to be found within the child within the part of you that plays or that looks at the world with wonder. And so I just feel like this is a time where, yeah, you've survived the challenges, but you're also getting back to your innocence. You're getting back to what makes you pure. And you're remembering your own creative, sensitive nature, and you're being protective about where you're letting that inner self, or what you're letting that inner self be exposed to. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you if you pick the dragon is Zeus. And his card says, I trust my authority. I enforce it wisely and fairly. And Zeus is the king of the gods. He is all about power. And when we have that dragon symbolism as well, and then you're getting Zeus right now, this could be a time to step into your own power or authority. And it's very interesting to me because Zeus is called the father of the gods, and yet you have the child, the inner child card. And there are two parts of you. There is your inner child for sure, but there's also your inner adult. And that inner adult is going to make sure that that inner child is protected. So this week, I think what you need to really be mindful of is the interplay between the inner child and the inner adult. That you're using your inner adult to create boundaries and space for yourself to be safe, to be supported, but that you're also within those parameters allowing your inner child to roam free. Next, we're going to go into the octopus animal spirit, and the octopus is known for its powers of camouflage, its ability to just kind of like blend into its surroundings. And also, it doesn't have any bones, except for its little beak, so it can squeeze into little impossible spaces. And I feel Octopus is telling you about the magic of squeezing into the impossible spaces or the things that you think are impossible. They are possible. There is a way around the obstacle. An octopus is very intelligent. They use their massive brains to figure out or problem solve or to get around the obstacle in the pursuit of their prey. And so I feel if you're attracted to octopus this next week, you want to think smarter, not work harder, and you want to find your way around the obstacle. There is a possibility here. Even if at first it looks like the door is closed, the octopus slips through the crack underneath the door. First, for octopuses, where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is all about exposing yourself to something new or different, putting yourself in a new sphere, a new place. The Knight of Wands is the card of foreigners or foreign places, but he's also a card that will indicate that it's time for you to go on a quest. And I feel like your quest might have been thwarted up until now. It's like, yeah, I know I got to do this quest. I know I need to start this next part of my life. I know this new chapter is waiting for me. But I have this obstacle, or this thing is saying no, or I can't do it because of X and Y and Z. And the Knight of Wands is telling you to be brave. And like the obstacle, outsmarting octopus, God, I try to say that 3 times fast. It could be a time where you're really looking at the way around the obstacle. You're becoming free from it. You're not using that obstacle as the narrative, the thing that is constantly telling you why you can't succeed or can't do that thing. So I feel like the Knight of Wands is all about thinking outside of the box and initiating the next step in your personal evolution, even if you don't feel 100% ready, and to put yourself into that new environment. The advice from your inner wisdom this next week, how appropriate. We got the Page of Wands, the brothers of the wand suit. Page of Wands will tell you to always trust your talent and to let your talent be your guide. And whatever it is, this new chapter that the octopus needs to think up or outsmart or work into, it has to do with your talent. And, both with the dragon and the octopus, we're dealing with that page energy this next week, that child energy, that youthful wonder. And I feel like this is going to be so important for you if you pick the octopus. It's time to get back to basics, get back to what set you aflame with your creativity, with your talent. It might be a time to reinforce your fundamentals, to go back to the beginning and to remember, okay, this is how I started. This is what the foundation is of what I'm doing. Sometimes we have to revisit foundations every now and then. And that revisiting of the foundation might give you the answer that you're seeking to overcome the obstacle that's in your way. And I just kind of feel that fiery, passionate energy coming up here for you this next week. So go for your goal with gusto. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you, I just said fiery, how appropriate. We got Hephaestus. He is the god of the fire, of the forge. And his card says, awareness of my flaws generates the insight to build my strengths. Wow. That's really cool when we think about it. Sometimes our flaws are the things that actually are our superpower. They are the thing that differentiates us. Sometimes we're so concerned with looking perfect or having everything all in a row or covering up our imperfections, not letting the world see the things that make us human. And yet that alienates the world. It pushes it away. It makes us less relatable when we're trying to be something that we're not. And Hephaestus could say that it's your imperfections that are the source for all of your talents. So instead of looking at yourself in the mirror and bemoaning what you're seeing or picking on yourself or being mean to yourself, instead, it's so important that you're validating the beautiful, wonderful spirit that you are and that creative fire that you're bringing on this quest that is your life. I think you need to be kinder to yourself. And I think you need to lean into those vulnerabilities and allow them to show. Allow that to be something that comes out because that's going to be where the breakthrough is. That's going to be where people relate to you. They get you. They understand you. And you're not just trying to be this big facade. And then finally, we have the penguin animal spirit. And I just think penguins are so cute. What could I say about the spirituality of a penguin, or what's their mythic message? I think penguins are communal. They work together in big groups. Penguins are also birds, but they operate in the realm of water. So think about that. You got this creature who should be associated with the element of air, and yet they dive under the water. And the gymnastics that they're able to accomplish, the maneuvers underwater, are better than anything that a bird can do in flight. And so I just kind of feel like this is a time for you to not just limit yourself to a cerebral life experience, but to really allow yourself to go into the realm of the water, the realm of the unconscious, your emotions. That is where there are some deep well springs of wisdom within. First card for Penguin is where's it best for you to place your focus? And we get the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands for me is a card of standing in your integrity, standing in what makes you unique. It's sometimes a card of taking the high road, not engaging in something that diminishes you. Like, for example, if everybody's piling on somebody at work or in life, and they're like, "Oh, did you see so and so?" and da 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 da, because they feel uncomfortable about themselves, and Seven of Wands energy is sort of saying something like, "Oh, you know what? They've always been nice to me. I don't know what you're talking about." Not engaging in those lower vibrations, those things that we kind of hide out in, but instead really standing in your integrity, standing up for what you know is right, not just going along to get along. And, picking your battles, of course, it doesn't mean you have to be combative and like the social warrior for every injustice you're seeing, but it might be a time to speak up about something that you feel authentically passionate about at this time. And also, Seven of Wands can indicate that this is a time for you to go away from the group, to be a unique individual, and to think with your own mind and not just conform to a system that's around you. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the penguin, is actually the Six of Wands. So two wands cards, just like with the last animal, the octopus. So we got lots of wands this week. What are wands? Well, they're symbols for growth. They're also symbols of accessing your passion. And really getting into your self esteem, your self confidence. I'm just checking it. Yep, that is the six. Okay. So, Six of Wands is all about self esteem. It's all about your confidence. It's about promoting yourself, promoting your ideas. It's also interesting. The octopus has the knight and the page. And then here we got the six and the seven, cards that normally appear next to each other in the tarot. And I promise you, I use this deck all the time. So it's well shuffled. So there's a sequence going on here. There is a progression. And the progression's moving backwards. We got the seven to the six. And in the previous animal, we had the knight to the page. So I kind of feel like there is a working backward, working toward the basics, working toward the basics of your passion. But also, I feel like it's time to work backwards to find your self confidence. Maybe you had it at one time, and maybe something's shaken it. And maybe you left that self confidence on the road way back. And I feel like these cards are telling you it's time to stand up in your integrity, circle back, and find your power. Pick up that person off the road. You are still that person. Sure, things have changed and you've accumulated more wisdom, but you can still find that confident, powerful aspect within yourself if you seek it out, honestly. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you, another pattern. Here we see Hera, who is actually the wife of the first god, Zeus, and the mother of the second god, Hephaestus, in the Oracle reveal. And her quote says, "I fulfill a worthy role as friend or family member. I am safe and protected in my relationships." And Hera, she's the goddess of marriage, of social contracts, of agreements that we have with others. And I feel like what she's telling you is that you're safe now. Whatever has shaken your confidence in yourself, whatever's made you recoil in the past, that's over now. And now it's time for you to step into your divinity, your authority, your power, but also what makes you regal, what gives you a regal bearing. Hera is the queen of the gods. And so there is this sense that you're needing to step into your own queenship, or kingship, as it were. Hera can also be a figure who jealously guards those social constructs. You know, there's all these stories about how Zeus cheats on her, and she, doesn't take it, sitting down. She fights back. She rails against him at every opportunity. Sometimes Hera can be the fighter within us, the thing that fights or stands up for what we believe is right. And Hera's actually over my shoulder. My mom painted that Hera painting a long time ago. So it might be a time to get back into that steely queen's power, to stand up for the battles that are worth fighting for you, and to stand into what you feel is important to be protective of, and to go your own road and believe it's right despite opposition. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you found it useful. If you did, please do share the video with a friend if you found it useful, or subscribe to my channel. It's been growing so beautifully over the last couple of years, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in every week and writing nice little comments and things like that in the description box. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, whatever it is that you choose to do. And for those of you in the United States, I hope you have a happy, stress-free Thanksgiving. I know it's going to be kind of an interesting year with the climate going on there. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great time, and I will see you again here next week. So do take care.